Hi Zach, come on in.
Thank you.
I'm Alex with Pacific University. I'll be interviewing you today.
Nice to meet you. I brought a copy of my resume for you, just in case you needed to see that during the interview.
Awesome, thank you. Go ahead, have a seat.
Thank you.
Alright, well I guess we'll get the interview started then. How about you tell me a little about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm 22 years old. I'm just finishing up my undergraduate degree at Western Washington University with a major in kinesiology and a minor in sports psychology. I also have an emphasis in chemistry. I was born and raised in the Pacific Northwest, just outside of Seattle. I have a younger sister and 3 cats at home. I'm a very avid sports watcher and player. I've played basketball as well as tennis for the majority of my life, ever since I was probably about 5 or 6 years old. I've also played recreationally for baseball, soccer, all those kinds of sports. And I also love to watch as well. I'm very into keeping up with all the Seattle sports teams, so the Mariners, Seahawks, Sounders.
Absolutely.
Used to be the Sonics, but it's a little bit sad now. But yeah, I'm very interested in the whole realm of athletics. So
Okay.
yeah.
Very cool. Well, to lead into that, tell me why you're interested in athletic training.
Well, I feel like with that background in sports, I've had the opportunity to be around a lot of trainers, and I see the work that they do. And it's always intrigued me just how much they're able to impact an injured athlete and help them get back into playing condition. And so when I got to college, I got into the kinesiology program and saw that that was a track. And now that I have that solid anatomical foundation of knowledge, as well as just like general knowledge about the way the body works, both physically and psychologically, I feel like it'd be a very good track for me to pursue, and it seems very interesting and fits my personal interests very well.
Very cool. Can you describe to me what you've done to prepare, get ready for this program, to become an athletic trainer?
Yeah. Well, I've got the degree in kinesiology as well as the minor in sports psychology, so I feel like those two go very well into learning both sides of the interpersonal puzzle that is dealing with athletes, especially during injury. I've also worked with the athletic trainers at Western. I did a field experience with them where I got to shadow the head athletic trainer as well as the other 2 athletic trainers on staff, and watch what they do on a day-to-day basis, is how they interact with athletes, how they set up and tear down practices, what they do at practice in order to help athletes, how they prepare and are preventative in their measures to keep athletes healthy before they even get injured. I've also spent a lot of time coaching. I've been a basketball and tennis coach for the past 7 years. So I've been involved from all age groups, working with athletes and understanding what does and what doesn't make certain personalities motivated or keep them involved, what kind of tactics you have to use as an older individual, helping them progress through their maturation. So I think those 2 are the biggest. I've also volunteered at the Boys and Girls Club. I volunteered at a place called Home Court, which was a basketball facility back in Woodinville, which is near where I grew up. And both of those experiences allowed me to watch other coaches deal with young kids and get a more of a observational perspective on what I do as a coach, and see how others do that as well, to get different perspectives on how to work.
Very nice. Going back to what you were saying about your shadowing for trainers at Western, can you tell me a little bit more about that? Say something that you may have taken from it, and why do you think after having this experience, why do you think you should continue being an athletic trainer?
Absolutely. I think the biggest thing I took from it was their passion to prevent injury. And I think that's one thing that in today's society, in today's medical industry, we're more of a curative type of society. Once there is a problem, we address it. But what we don't do is we don't look to prevent injury. And I think the preparedness and the passion with which they worked was so appealing to how I want to deal with athletes and how I want to work as a person, that seeing that just absolutely blew me away and made me more enticed to pursue this as a career, pursue this as a profession, because I think that is one of the most necessary things that isn't prevalent in athletics today.
Very nice. So what do you personally feel will be your biggest challenge coming to this program?
That's a good question. I think personally, I can be more of a reserved person, a reserved individual, and so I'm not always open towards other people until I really get to know them on more of a interpersonal level. But I've done a lot to try and work on that. While being quiet, I was the captain of my tennis team in high school. I eventually became a coach at that high school and worked with the varsity team. I was a basketball coach for age groups ranging anywhere from 3rd and 4th grade boys and girls all the way up to high school varsity, and as well as other summer camps ranging from baseball to football. So I put myself in the position to be open and be a leader. So I think that those opportunities have allowed me to open up more and become a lot better at that. I know I still have to work on it, but I'm actively trying to work on it all the time. So.
Very nice. Just in relation to this program, you're going to have to be working with athletes a lot. So do you think you'll be able to carry that over into working with athletes? Do you think you're going to be able to open up and share empathy with them, or just be there for them emotionally as well?
Yes, I believe I will be able to do that. I think coming from an athletic background, that the ability to empathize with other athletes going through injuries or going through struggles, I've been there myself, so I will have that ability to empathize with them and relate my own experiences to them and try and help them through it in every way that I can. And having those similarities will transition myself and being able to open up more with them.
So on the reverse side, what do you think is a strength that will help you excel as an athletic trainer?
I think the biggest strength that will help me excel will be my passion for athletics. I am very driven in all aspects of it. I just truly love the environment and the people that are involved. And so I think that having that passion and having the knowledge from my academics combined with that will put me in a very good place to be able to work very, very hard and be able to help me succeed in whatever situation that I'm in. And so I think that would be my biggest strength that will help me as an athletic trainer.
Perfect. So last question, kind of a reverse question. Do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do. So as I was looking into your school, I noticed that your graduate school campus and your undergraduate campus are separate. And so my question was, I know that your undergraduate campus has their own exercise science program, and they have a lot of materials that would be helpful in learning everything that we'll be learning in the classes at the graduate level. If we have access to those facilities as well as the others, because I know that that's where the main gym is, as well as the tennis courts for the school are housed. So if I'm over there, do I still have access to those academic materials?
Okay. Well, seeing as I'm not actually from Pacific University, I can't actually tell you whether or not you have access, but I would assume that you will have all of the resources that you will need to pursue a career in athletic training.
Very cool. That's wonderful. I think I have one other question.
Okay.
In terms of the the athletic trainers that you have, since you guys are a Division III school, you have a lot of athletic programs yourself, are we given the opportunity to shadow with the athletic trainers there? And how many hours is there a limit to how much we can do to actively like work in the training room or shadow the trainers there?
It's a very good question. And again, I don't know the answer, but yeah, I actually really like that question. Very good question, Zach.
Thank you.
All right, well, that concludes our interview. We'll get back to you in about a week. Thank you for coming and seeing me.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate the interview.
All right, take care.
You too.